hey, you look horrible in that. Or, yeah, that's a stupid idea. I don't know why you would say that. And I thought this was good because I was like, hey, these people are telling the truth. Some people will get straight to the point and tell you what you need to hear because they want you to grow and thrive. Others are doing it because to them, there's no downside of saying something that hurts you.
Let me give you the opposite perspective. Brutal honesty. The ability to say what you think, knowing you're gonna hurt the other person, but not giving a fuck is necessary to be a healthy and whole person. I think the best example of that is the ability to say no when an insecure person asks you to have sex. I'm gonna talk about my 3 main ideas about becoming healthily brutally honest. But before we get there, I have to take a step back. First off, everything Hampton said in his original video is excellent. What I heard him say is that he grew up around brutally honest people. So he accidentally became attracted to people who spoke freely because they didn't really mind hurting his feelings, instead of people who told him the truth because they wanted him to grow. I agree that the ability to tell between those 2 types of people is so powerful. What I'm trying to think about is how do I become the latter, that healthily brutally honest person. I have the opposite story to Hampton. I grew up in a world where everything was painfully subtle. Even the slightest eyebrow raise meant the difference between whether today was going to be a good day or be a really bad day. So as a kid, I learned to be hyper aware all the time, constantly hunting for signs of if anyone was mad at me, and for how I could fix it quickly before shit got bad. So in school, when I met people who were brutally honest, it was such a breath of fresh air. I remember how it felt for the first time to hear something and just trust. This is what this person truly believes. For me, compliments could always have a double meaning, could always be a test. Everything had a correct response I had to gamble for, but at least insults were real. They were reliable. So I too became somebody who was brutally honest. And over the years of searching for open communication and also accidentally pissing people off in the process, I learned 3 things. Number 1, asking for consent is a magical cheat code that exists in every form of communication. The amount of times I could say the exact same thing and have it be received well just by asking first. I generally use 2 formats. First, hey, what type of feedback do you want? Do you want me to just talk about what I liked, or also what I think could be improved? This is great for when someone shows me anything, like their art. Most of the time, people just want positive validation and encouragement. And so when someone responds that they only want compliments, yes, I can totally be that hype friend for you. Easy. And the second format looks like this. Hey, I have some feedback, but it might be a little hard to hear, and I'm honestly not sure how to say it. Maybe we could go on a walk or meet in person? Both of these address Hampton's concern and actually indicate that I care about how what I say makes the other person feel, even before I say anything, which is ideal. My second idea is always use positive language within reason. A few years ago, a friend asked me if a top made her look fat. Instead of saying yes, I said, I've seen you look better in other outfits. Again, it's brutally honest. Most people would say, no, you look great. But because my version focuses on where she looks better, it feels more hopeful and more about the clothing rather than being personally insulting. A more extreme example is if a friend is becoming a negative force in my life and I want to tell them, I can say, I miss when I used to feel X around you. Now I only feel Y. Or, it's been hard for me to enjoy spending time around you recently. The first one focuses on the positive and reminds the other person that I'm talking about the situation and not them, and that I remember them with those original positive feelings. And the second one focuses on myself and reminds the other person that I'm here to improve how I feel and not to attack anyone. Harsh truths can be conveyed gently. Number 3, and this one's the hardest. I've seen myself and so many of my friends suffer unnecessarily because we have not cultivated the ability, the strength to look someone in the eye and say, hey, I don't appreciate what you're doing. You have to stop or I'm out. The strength it takes to look at someone you love and intentionally cause them pain. When you're breaking up with someone, when you tell someone that they're manipulating you, that they're hurting you, when you're telling someone that you don't want to have sex with them. All of these are moments you need to be okay causing someone else discomfort. At my core, I'm a people pleaser, and I've let people I love do awful things to me because of it. As much as I hate it, I'm still that kid who would do anything to avoid having someone be angry at me. It's a weakness that I have that makes me helpless and easy to manipulate. And I feel that the only way that I can stick up for myself in the big moments is if I practice speaking my mind in smaller stakes situations. That's why I started trying to be brutally honest. Started trying to find a new way to exist, trying to truly not give a fuck. And eventually I worked on the first two ideas to make sure that my new form of communication is productive and that my values stay intact. So this last point amounts to, in order to be healthily brutally honest, I try to remember how important it is that I work on this skill. And I accept that even though I know it's gonna be messy and difficult, it's far better than staying the way I am. And it's far better than being the way that I was. And that's my defense of brutal honesty.